Nam Shrastam Manamapi Sachiputram Atra Sarupam Rupam Tazujatam Urupurim Maturim Gostavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasya Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Sri Gurutam Natosmi Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Parayate Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Is sound clear? We're trying a new microphone today. So first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Danti Swami, Sri Bhaktivedanta, Narayan Gosai Maharaj, our Shiksha Gurus, Sri Gaur Govinda Gosai Maharaj, Sri Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Gosai Maharaj, all Vaisnavas, Vaisnavis, Dhanavat pranams. So, okay, we're continuing on third chapter of Sri Jaiva-Dharma. Just a little recap of the second chapter. The nitya-dharma of the jiva is pure. Sannyasi Thakur, who was Mayavadi, by the Labhamatra, just a moment association of Vaishnava, just by seeing a Vaishnava, then he tasted prema. So he gave up his previous spiritual practices and searched for the association of pure Vaishnavas. He came to Vrindavan. There he saw the Vaishnavas always crying, Ha Rup, Ha Sanatan, Ha Jiva, Ha Mayapur. So he did parikrama of Vrindavan Dham and came to Mayapur. He associated with Paramhamsa Das Babaji Maharaj and began this process of inquiry. Krishna says, Tadvidi pratipatena pariprashnana sevaya upatiyakshanti te jnanant tatvidarshanam. One should approach a self-realized soul who has seen the truth and inquire from him submissively, surrender oneself and render service. These three things. Then one can understand the truth as it is. So he asked two questions in chapter 2. If the jiva is small, how can his dharma be pure and perfect? And number 2, how can he be the eternal servant of Krishna if the jiva has creation? So we heard all that yesterday or the day before. So chapter 3, very wonderful. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives so much in Jaiva-Dharma that after hearing and understanding the super excellence of the Vaisnava-Dharma and how one can enter into Vaisnava-Dharma according to his nishta and harinam. We heard that one who chants occasionally is kanishta adhikari. One who chants continuously, they are madhyama adhikari. And one who chants, you see them and you chant, that is Uttam Bhagavat. So, nighttime, like 10 o'clock, he was already in Godrum Dweep, one of the 9 islands of Navadweep. That is the place of Kirtanakya Bhakti, where Nityananda used to do many pastimes, where Bhaktivinoda Thakur lived in Surabhi Kunj and wrote this Jaiva-Dharma. So one night, he was sitting on one small mound, and he was chanting Harinam. Then all of a sudden, he had some darshan of uppercut, Navadweep. So what he saw, towering jeweled palaces, temples, ornamented archways, thousands of devotees chanting Harinam Sankirtan. Devotees, which devotees? Like Narad was chanting on his veena and chanting Hare Krishna, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Gaura Hari. He saw Sadashiv, fair complexioned Mahadev, dancing, ton of nitya dance, wildly and chanting, "O Vishwambar, give your mercy to me." In another place he saw Indra and the demigods jumping in Sankirtan, chanting Haribol, Haribol. Somewhere else he saw four-headed Brahma giving explanation on the Upanishads, Mahan Prabhu Vaipurusha Sattvasas Pravatakaha. I give pranam to that Mahapurush in the form of sannyasi who spreads Harinam everywhere, this verse from the Upanishads. He saw many birds chanting Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur, and he's become astonished. He said, "What is this? I have seen Sri Mayapur many times, but I have never seen anything like this." Then he could understand, I got some mercy of Gurudev. He saw everyone was wearing Vaishnav, Udpunda tilak. Mayavadis wear. Before he was probably wearing tilak like this, tripunda, but now he was wearing. Everyone in the Navadvip that he saw was wearing Udpunda tilak. Everyone had three strands of neck beads around their neck. So he could understand this is the eternal Sarup. I think it's not diverging these days. Some people are pressing the idea of Krishna West. Oh, it doesn't matter what dress you wear, because we're not the body is only material, so you can wear shirt and pants and chant Harinam. That is also true, but still, we cannot say that the dress of a Vaishnava is external, because that is also pleasing to Krishna. In Goloka Vrindavan, he did not see anyone wearing jeans and t-shirt. No? He saw everyone wearing dhoti, kurta, tilak, neck beads, shaved. Anyway, some shaved, some... Anyway, all were wearing Vaishnav. All had their bodies stamped with the syllables of Harinam. So we cannot say this is external, because this is also part of the Sarup, no? As servants of Lord Chaitanya. So we cannot say this is external. Anyway, I don't want to go too much into Krishna West, but what's inside comes outside. So Sannyasi Thakur had previously asked his Gurudev, "I'm not too happy wearing this Mayavad dress, I want to change." But his Gurudev said, "I never give instructions on external dress or external position. When time comes, automatically you will manifest." So that time, the next morning he went and threw his Mayavad sannyas danda into the Ganga. He decorated his neck with 3 strands of tulsi beads. He put his head, the Udpunda tilak, and chanting Haribol, Haribol, Sannyasi Thakur began to dance in ecstasy. When all the Vaishnavas of God's room saw Vaishnav, this sannyasi, now in so much ecstasy, chanting Harinam with his new appearance, all said, "You have been blessed, you have been blessed." So Sannyasi Thakur bowed at the feet of all the Vaishnavas. They also did pranam to him. Then Sannyasi Thakur said, "Oh, very sad, those Vaishnavas who I had before worshipped, now are giving me so much respect. How will I practice Trinadapi Sunichena Turoriva Suhishnana Amanina Madana Kirtanya Sarahari? How will I chant the holy name with offering all respects to others and not demanding respect for myself, being more tolerant than a tree and more humble than a blade of grass?" So, that time, his guru, even though we not heard he took official initiation, still, his guru, Paramahamsa Babaji Maharaj, was there. So when he saw Sannyasi Maharaj's complete change of dress and mood, now he has so much taste and bhav towards chanting Harinam, he embraced him and said, "O Vaishnav Thakur, O Vaishnav Das, today I have become successful by touching your auspicious body." So he got new name. So this one type of initiation, when we take Diksha, 5 things are there. Tilak, new name, mantra, Vaishnav Seva, and these marks of tilak, did I say? Anyway, 5 marks are there. So that means he got his new name, Vaishnav Das. So all Vaishnavas became very happy. So he gave up his Mayavad dress, his prestigious sannyas name, and the very high conception he had of himself, because he was from high-class Brahmin family. In Mayavad Sampradaya, only Brahmanas can take sannyas. No? So that afternoon, many other Vaishnavas, because every afternoon all Vaishnavas would come to Pradyumna Kunj to hear Paramahamsa Das Babaji Maharaj speak from Prem Vivata. So all came and were chanting Harinam with Tulsi Mala. They were chanting Ha Gauranga, Ha Nityananda, Ha Sitanatha Dvaitacharya, Jai Sachinandan. All were speaking some topics of Hari. That time Vaishnav Das came, and all the Vaishnavas said, "Isn't that Sannyasi Thakur? How extraordinary he looks today." No? So Vaishnav Thakur now, because he became devotee, and all good qualities like humility, everything manifest. So he rolled on the feet of the dust of the Vaishnavas and prayed to them. No? So he said, "I had so much pride in my birth in a high family. I'd studied all the Shastras. I'd entered sannyas. My pride knew no bounds. But the mercy of Vaishnavas, I realized I am destitute and useless. No, so please treat this servant of yours as you like." So everyone was very happy hearing his words. No. So as this discussion was going on, no, there was one new man there. His name was Lahari Kalidas. Okay, so he was also born in a very aristocratic Brahmin family, and he had so much education from the Muslims. He knew Farsi and Arabic. He had defeated many people in debate. No, he was from a wealthy family, Zamindar family. Okay, so he had many good things: high birth, good education, no, good reputation, but all these things not gave him happiness. He was also expert in music. He had learned from the music teachers in Delhi, harmonium and all these other things. No? So he would come and sing. Because he was musically trained, he would sing Sankirtan for the Vaishnavas. And because he was musically proficient, they gave him some position like head singer. No? So he would sing, but the Vaishnavas were not so much happy by his mood, because they thought he was too ornamented, and too polished, too professional. Also, he would show off his musical expertise, and he would look at the other devotees for some recognition. No? But still, by persisting, he developed some taste in Harinam. Now there's one story, one music man, is that even English? Musician. He was singing Hare Krishna, like this, very long Hare, like this, long and long he was singing Hare Krishna. Then Param Guru said, "In that time that you chanted one Mahamantra, we could chant 100 Mahamantras." No? So he not like that. Not too much importance given to the sound, external singing. Actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would get the worst singers to lead Aarti. No comment. So we do not like to hear the sound, we like to hear the mood. But still, of course, if singing is proper, that is also a bonus. If you can get both things together, that is good. But still, because he was singing Harinam, he was developing taste in chanting and doing Sankirtan with the Vaishnavas. So when he saw Sannyasi Thakur speak I had so much pride in being born as a Brahmin, this and that. Then some doubt came in the mind of Kalidas Lahari. So he asked question. Also, he was very educated and very good speaker. So he said, and he asked the Vaisnavas quite boldly, no? The Manusmriti and other Dharma Shastras state the Brahmanas are the highest. According to these scriptures, religious rites such as Sandhya, Vandana, doing Gayatri 3 times a day, no? Chanting the Brahma Gayatri, these are considered nitya-dharma for the Brahmanas. If these are compulsory activities, nitya-dharma, why are the Vaisnavas opposed to it? No? So generally Vaisnavas don't like useless argument. Some do, like Damodar Maharaj, but generally Vaisnavas don't like useless argument with materialists. But because Kalidas had faith, he had some taste in Harinam, then they answered him. So Paramhamsa Baba, this question, all Vaishnavas said, oh please, we want Paramhamsa Babaji to answer the question because he was most senior. But Babaji Maharaj said, no, I want Vaishnav Das. He should answer this question. So what's the question? No, the Karmakand section of the Vedas say the Brahmanas are the best, and Brahmanas always do worship of Vishnu, chant Brahma Gayatri, this is nitya-dharma. Why the Vaishnavas think this should be given up? No? Why the Vaishnavas are against this? So that's the question. And this chapter is Naimittika dharma is to be given up. Naimittika dharma is to be relinquished. So in the previous chapter we heard what is nitya-dharma. Nitya-dharma is pure and eternal. And now we're hearing what is temporary dharma or Naimittika dharma. Okay, so it's a little complicated, this chapter, a lot of terminology. But if you're a little patient and read the chapter 3-4 times, it becomes more and more clear. No? So, Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Das, before was Mayavadi, a few days, now become Vaishnav. No? Because just a little bit of association, he quickly achieved all perfection. So Vaishnav Das said, first he chanted one verse, Yad Advaitam Branu Upanishada Tapi Tapasyat Tanubad Yad Antarjami Purusho Yeho Swang Savibhavaha Sadai Swara Puna Yahya Bhagavan Saswayamayam Sri Chaitanya Paratatva Krishna Paratatva Paramiham. I give pranam to Sri Krishna Chaitanya. He is Krishna himself, there is no tattva superior to him. The non-differentiated, impersonal Brahman is the effulgence from the body of Lord Chaitanya. The all-pervading, localized super soul in the heart of everyone is his expansion. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is Krishna, full of all 6 opulences. No? Then he answered. No, there are 20 Dharma Shastras, of which Manu Samhita is the topmost. So, the Manu Samhita and other Dharma Shastras establish rules and regulations of Vedic thought. So, human nature has 2 tendencies. One is vaidhi, one is raganuga. No? As long as we have a material body, we heard the day before, the soul covered by the subtle body and the gross body then misidentifies with them. No? And the nitya-dharma has now become transformed, visarga. Okay, hearing now? So, now the soul is covered by the subtle body of the mind and intelligence and the gross body of earth, water, fire, ether, and the karma and gyanindriya. No? So as long as you're the intelligence is identifying with the body, as long as the intelligence is under the control of Maya, then that person will have to follow vaidhi, some rules and regulations. Otherwise, what's the option? You become completely avaid, unregulated and become like an animal. So as long as the intelligence is captured by Maya, conditioned by Maya, as long as the mind is influenced by sattva gun, rajagun, tamagun, that time, what will protect you? That is called vaidhi. Okay. So, when the intelligence is liberated from the influence of Maya, that time there's another tendency, vaidhi tendency, that time no longer remains, and that is called raganuga becomes manifest. This raganuga is the pure and unadulterated nature of the soul. Okay? It is the pure swabhava or eternal nature of the soul. It is free from bondage to dull matter. So in very simple language, Kaviraj Goswami said the same thing, no? Rag heen jan shastra agyan. As long as rag has not manifested in the person, that time shastra agyan, they have to be controlled by the scriptures. Because the liberated soul, the person performing raganuga bhakti, that time he does not need scriptures to control himself. He is naturally impelled towards chidanurag, to attraction, in simple language, to attraction to Radha Krishna. So that attraction controls all his activities. No? So two tendencies, conditioned soul should be, his tendency will be vaidhi pravritti, and the liberated soul, his tendency will be raganuk pravritti. Okay, so the pure spirit, the jiva's relationship with Maya will be finished when Krishna wills it. So when the jiva is gradually going towards liberation from material existence, that stage is called kshayanmukh. He's approaching liberation. Right? 99% of the people are not even interested in liberation. They're just interested in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So people who are approaching liberation, then that time they have to adopt some rules. That is called vaidhi. So when one achieves complete freedom from liberation, vastuta jara mukti, that time the nature is called ragatmik. No? Like in the spiritual world, Hanuman, Narad, Jai-Vijay, Nanda Yasoda, what to speak of the gopis, then nature is called ragatmik. No? Means there's nothing covering their eternal nature. Isti sadisika raga parama veshratatata. Full absorption in the Ishtadev, Bhagavan, that is called ragatmik. No? Atmik means atma, and rag means attachment. Their spiritual bodies or their atma is made of attachment to Krishna. Like Mother Yasoda is ragatmik, Mother Yasoda's body is made of what? Raga, Vatsalya Prem. Her body is made of the feeling, Krishna is my son. Sridham and Subal, their spiritual forms are made of the feeling, Krishna is my friend. So that is called ragatmik. So when the jiva achieves vastuta jara mukti, complete liberation from any material connection, that time he's called ragatmik. Okay. And when he's achieved partial liberation, that is called raganuga. Okay. This ragatmik prakriti is the nature of the eternal residence of Braj. The jiva who in the stage of kshayanmukh stage follows the nature of that ragatmik. No, they are not ragatmik yet, but they are following the ragatmik that is known as raganuga. Okay, so on page 36, Bhaktivinoda Thakur used two different terms, Surupata Jar Mukti and Basuta Jar Mukti. Surupata Jar Mukti means he realized his Surup, but he's still not completely free. That is the definition of the Jivan Mukta. Qualified, he's a sadhak, qualified for darshan of Krishna, but still some obstacle. So that devotee is practicing raganuga. He is following the rag of the ragatmiks. Anuga means to follow. No? So, Sarupatak Jar Mukti means the stage of Raganuga, Sarup Siddhi, and a few stages before that. And when he achieves Vastu, what's it called? Vastu Siddhi, that means he leaves this body and in the spiritual form goes to Glok Vrindavan. That time he becomes Ragatmik. Sometimes Gurudev and Trivikram Maharaj would argue, who is Ragatmik? So Gurudev would say, anyone in this world who practices Raganuga Bhakti, then in their Sarup goes to the spiritual world and serves Radha Krishna, they are Ragatmik. And Trivikram Maharaj would say, no, they are still Raganuga. Why? Both are correct. Because when you go there and, for example, you're serving there like Rupa and Rati Manjaris and all these other Manjaris, still you're under their guidance, even though you're also Ragatmik. So Trivikram Maharaj also right. Even in the spiritual world, you're still under their guidance. In that sense, Raganuga. So, as long as we have not reached the stage of Raganuga Bhakti, no, in Raganuga Bhakti, day and night the devotees drag towards Braj and his seva because they're on the level of Sarup, no? Until one has not reached that stage of Raganuga, then he has to be in the stage of Vaidhi. Okay, so we'll just read here. As long as this condition is absent, human intelligence remains spontaneously attached to material objects. Like we're chanting Harinam, where's mind going? Spontaneously and automatically to its various places. This is due to the nisarga, the perverted nature of the jiva in material existence, the false acquired nature. The bewildered jiva mistakenly considers attachment for material objects to be his natural spiritual position. Right? You tell people, give up sex life. Why? It's natural. Give up this. It's natural. So the bewildered jiva thinks this is natural. Therefore, bewildered by Maya, he thinks I and Maya in terms of two egoism. We heard in the last class, the subtle body, I am the enjoyer, and the gross body, I am man, woman, king, etc. So the two type of false ego becomes very prominent. I am this body, and what belongs to this body is mine. One naturally feels attracted to people and things that give pleasure, and one feels aversion to that which gives distress, rag and dvesh. No? There are 5 kleshas, obstacles. No? So rag and dvesh means attachment to what gives enjoyment, and aversion to what gives distress. No? So in this world, everyone doing what? Trying to get happiness and trying to avoid suffering. No? That is called samsara, or material existence. The bewildered jiv, right, now covered by Maya, forgot his real identity and think I'm an enjoyer, now becomes completely absorbed in trying to get happiness and trying to avoid misery. No. This is called. Therefore he develops friendship and enmity in 3 conditions. Saririk, according to the body. Samajik, according to society. I'm Russian, this is Ukraine. And finally, Naitik, I'm Muslim, I'm Christian. Right? So these 3 false, Saririk, Sahajik, Samajik, and Naitik. These 3 identities he has, and what's he doing 24 hours a day? Enjoyment, I want enjoyment, I don't want to suffer. Thus he engages in the hard struggle for material existence. Right? He tries to get gold. Why? Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur said, gold is the father of all enjoyment. Money, if you have money, you get enjoyment. No? Can you turn on my light there? Top one. Stop. That one, look, that one. On, off. No. That on, off. Again on. Okay, that's it. So, okay. So I want to read this paragraph, very important paragraph. The jivas who are bound by Maya cannot easily understand what is spiritual attachment. Right? You talk about attachment to Krishna, what's the audience doing? No conception. They cannot easily comprehend spiritual attachment, nor can they have any realization of it. In reality, spiritual attachment, chidanurag, is the jiva's true function and his eternal nature. However, he has forgotten this and becomes attached to matter. Although he is a particle of consciousness, he suffers degradation. This is a miserable condition, even though hardly any jiva thinks so. Right? If you say to anyone, you are suffering, 99%, no, I am quite fine. Because Maya have two coverings, Vikshept-atmic and Avaranatmic. Jiva has two functions, one which covers the jiva and that which pulls him away, separates him from Krishna. Like when we walk past the pig in the street, the pipe is there in the stool and he's there with his face in the pipe trying to get the bits of stool. When we see that, how we feel? Like disgust, but pig is quite happy. He thinks this is very nice. So this is Maya. No matter how much people suffering, still they think, I am okay, I am fine. This is a miserable condition, although hardly any of the jivas who are thus entangled in material existence think they are miserable. That's why only if someone has a little sattva gun, they can understand what is material existence. No? Therefore, preaching is not some joke. It's a very hard thing. The jivas bound by Maya are completely unacquainted with the raganuga nature because completely forgotten. What to speak of the ragatmic nature? The raganuga nature may be awakened in the heart of the jiva, but only by association of the sadhus. But the problem is no one is interested in sadhus. No? So Bhagavan is very kind. So he understands how the jivas can gradually come towards me. Their scripture not clearly say, have to associate with sadhus. Therefore, how is it possible for the jiva to attain any good fortune? For that reason, Krishna manifested these dharma shastras in the hearts of the different rishis. Okay, so just wait. Therefore, generally, there are Vedic scriptures of three types, because the souls in this world have three inclinations, three eligibilities. Some are inclined towards karma, enjoying the fruits of their action. Some are inclined towards jnana, liberation, and some are inclined towards bhakti. So the problem is those in karma are busily trying to defend karma and establish that as the best because they have so much taste and eligibility for that. Those who are eligible and practicing jnana are also doing likewise, and those who are devotees also doing likewise. The problem is these karma, jnana, and bhakti is not separate. These karma, jnana, and yoga, this karma, jnana, and bhakti yoga, these are all one yoga system. In Bhagavad Gita, after explaining karma yoga, then after explaining jnana or sankhya yoga, Krishna says, "O Arjuna, jnana and sankhya is the same thing. The result is the same." So many people, even devotees, when we preach, we not understand karma, jnana, and bhakti is one yoga system. These are like steps on a staircase. For example, any karma which not offered to Bhagavan, that is atheistic and useless. Therefore, Krishna recommends not just ordinary karma, but niskaram karma yoga, offering the result of karma to the Supreme Lord. What happens by that? One's heart becomes purified. In the purified heart, one gets knowledge. And when jnana is done properly, then it leads to devotion. So any karma or jnana not done in a way to lead to bhakti, that is useless activity. So Krishna, and that's why Krishna spoke karma, jnana, and yoga. These are not three different things. This is one yoga system. Krishna simply spoke different steps according to the different eligibility of the different jivas. That's why it's one of the offenses to the holy name to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures. For example, you may read Mahabharata or something, this Mahabharata stupid, no. Some people, devotees even say, oh, this Manusamhita, why are you reading that? That is useless. This is one offense to the holy name, because all scripture have their goal ultimately towards Bhagavan. Gradually, step by step, bringing them. If one blasphemes the different scriptures, not understanding their intention, this is one a blasphemy of Krishna also, because he made all the scriptures. So, okay. So, the scriptures provide different type of instructions that are consistent with the different mentalities of the jiva. There are countless individual jivas. They have unlimited varieties of qualification. But there are three main broad categories: karma adhikar, jnana adhikar, and bhakti adhikar. The Vedic scriptures specify the three types of behavior for the three different levels of adhikar. So, the nature by which someone is compelled to adopt the Vaidhi-dharma, that is called vaidhi pravritti. Okay. There are some people who do not accept any rules and regulations. They're called avaida, outside of vaidhi. They oppose the rules of scriptures. Therefore, one follows scriptures. Why? Because he becomes fearful of the result of sinful activity. If you read 5th canto of Bhagavatam, for example, if you eat sausage, you go to this hell. If you have some woman outside of marriage, you go to this hell. Then an intelligent person naturally becomes fearful. Why I'm doing this activity? I don't want to go to hell. So out of fear, he begins to follow the vaidhi. So those who do not follow any vaidhi, all activities is called avaida karma, sinful activity. Such people are outside the Vedas. They are non-Aryans. They are known as malecha. Malecha means who not follow any rules and regulations. They're outside of varnashram, outside everything. So, okay. So some scriptures give prescriptions for those eligible for karma, some for those eligible for jnana, and other scriptures give activities for those eligible for bhakti. Gogmaj would also describe. Guru gives bhakti adhikar. He gives the seed of bhakti adhikar. But one should be careful. If one does not associate properly, he may get the seed of karma or even jnana. So one has to be careful. Okay. Modern day philosophers, without understanding the underlying purport of the scriptures, have tried to establish the superiority of only one of these three. But we explained this already. Okay. So here, what does it mean, karma? There are two types of karma. Okay, subh and asubh, auspicious and inauspicious. Okay. Inauspicious karma, also two types: sinful activity, pap, and akarma, avoidance of proper activity. Not doing the good thing is also one useless activity. So by asubh karma, inauspicious karma, either sin or akarma, avoiding one's prescribed duty. Like Arjuna, he did not want to fight, remember? Or he gave many excuses. Oh Krishna, better to maintain myself by begging than to enjoy the kingdom soaked in the blood of my worshipful superiors and relatives. I will not fight, I will go to the forest and become a beggar. This is an example of akarma, avoidance of one's prescribed activity. So Krishna said, better to perform your own activity properly than to adopt the activity of someone else. So better to do your own karma, even though some fault may be there. So all these things Krishna discusses in Bhagavad Gita also. Okay. So scripture says there are three types of karma. Subh, So three type of auspicious karma, subha karma. One is nitya-dharma. That means chant. For example, the higher varnas like brahmanas, vaishyas, kshatriyas, they also take Gayatri mantra, right? Before Gayatri, you're not allowed to marry. Even Krishna, of course, he's Bhagavan, but in Braj Leela, you see no marriage while in Braj, because no initiated, no Gayatri. So when Krishna came to Mathura, the first thing they did was give Krishna Diksha, means Gayatri mantra. Then he went to Gurukul, all these things. But Krishna is Vaishya community. So the three higher varnas, Brahman, Kshatriya, and Vaishya, they all take Brahman, they all take Gayatri and chant. So, Gayatri, offering prayers. If you do some bad activity, some atonement, telling the truth, maintaining family members, these are all called nitya-dharma. Okay, Malathi? Nitya-dharma. Naimittika dharma means some occasional activities, occasional responsibilities like funerals. Someone dies, we have to go and perform the Shraddha ceremony, or marriage ceremonies maybe also. This is called Naimittika dharma. And last is called kamya karma. Kamya karma. I want something, I'm doing some activity to fulfill a personal desire. No, but actually Bhaktivinoda says kamya karma should be given up. One should just perform nitya karma and naimittika karma. Okay, you following all this? Okay, it's like I said, this chapter is a lot of terminology. So I won't go too much into it, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur says actually when we call these nitya karmas, they're actually naimittika karmas. Because, and he'll explain why in a second. So he described, the scriptures say there are four types of humans. So they have arranged humans according to their nature and according to their social status. One is called varna, one is called ashram. Varna is for the development of the individual as Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Sudra, and ashram is for the maintenance and protection of society. Student, grihastha, vanaprastha, or sannyas. No? So actually only those who accept this varnashram, they actually can practice any type of real vaidhi. We see in the West, there's still some shadow of vaidhi, still some shadow of varnashram before. Now it's becoming more and more degraded by divorce and all these things. So, there are 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. What are the qualities of the brahmanas? Okay, you can take your measurement, how many of these I've developed. Control of the mind, control of the senses, austerity, cleanliness, satisfaction, tolerance, simplicity, devotion to Bhagavan, compassion for the suffering of others, and truthfulness. These are qualities of Brahmana. Qualities of Kshatriya: prowess, bodily strength, heroism, bravery, fortitude, tolerance, generosity, perseverance, steadiness, devotion to the Brahmanas, and to be king, to control. These are qualities of Kshatriyas. Vaishyas: theism, charity, free from pride, service to the Brahmanas, an insatiable desire to collect money. Do you know any Vaishyas? No matter how much they get, always want more. It's a natural quality of Vaishya. Okay? And last, Sudra. Sincere service to the demigods, Brahmanas and cows, and whatever you get, be satisfied with that. Okay, so these who have these qualities, they can practice vaidhi. And last, there are some which are outside varnashram. What are their qualities? Uncleanliness, dishonesty, thievery, no faith in Vedic Dharma, no belief in the next life. Sounds like most of my family and friends. Futile argument, lust, anger, and greed. Okay. So actually he just discusses this is not by birth. No. One varna can be understood by his inherent qualities. Something also may be there in family line, according to the samskar he gets from parents and the dynasty. But this is not everything. Mostly his activities and his nature determines one varna. And also, ashram, one can be student. Then if he's too much in rajagun, then he can marry, enter grihastha life. After, when one's children are grown up, one should retire from materialistic life and enter the vanaprastha stage. And if qualified, one can take sannyas from all karma and enter the fourth stage of life, which is sannyas. Okay, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes all this. Then he says, actually, what I spoke before about nitya-dharma in varnashram, chanting Gayatri, truthfulness, maintaining one's family members, actually this is not nitya-dharma, this is Naimittika dharma. No? Why? Because why are you performing these activities? Because you have a body, there's a cause, the body is temporary. So everything in relationship with the body is also Naimittika dharma, or temporary dharma. Okay, so before he said it nitya dharma, now he's making some more clarification, because what's the question of Kalidas? This is the nitya dharma of the brahmanas. But he's actually saying, no, these are not real nitya dharma. This is all Naimittika dharma. Because this life you may be a Brahman, therefore you're doing Gayatri and all these other things. But what happens if next life you take birth as a Chandal or a Sudra? That time you cannot do any more of these things. So it cannot be called Nitya. It's called temporary or Naimittika dharma. Okay. It's called Naimittika. Why? These things are aiming towards devotion, but not itself. They are not in and of themselves activities of devotion. Oh. Turn on the light again. Turn it on and off. Then it will. Okay, thank you. So, these all Naimittika dharma are assistants to nitya dharma. Therefore, they're called Naimittika or occasional. So, these Naimittika dharmas, varnashram and all these other things, they would not be needed if the jiva did not have a material body. The conditioned state of being bewildered by Maya is itself Naimittika, temporary. Therefore, from the absolute point of view, these are all Naimittika dharma, varnashram and all these activities we talked. No? Funeral ceremonies, no? Worship of the demigods even. These are all Naimittika dharma. Naimittika dharma includes the superiority of the brahmanas and the chanting of their Gayatri and their acceptance of sannyas. All these activities are recommended in the Dharma Shastras, but still they have no relationship with nitya dharma. Okay? Viprad visad guna yut aravinda nava padaravinda vimukt sapatsabiristam manyetet apita manohit hitanata pranam punati sakulam natu burijana. Prahlad Maharaj said, Oh Bhagavan, a devotee who is born in a Brahminical family with all 12 Brahminical qualities but is not your devotee, he is not dear to you. But a devotee born in a family of dog eaters who is your devotee, he can purify everyone, he can purify many, many generations, but the non-devotee Brahmin cannot even purify himself. Therefore, it's to be understood, the Vaishnav, no matter what family they're born in, by the influence of Bhakti Devi, naturally have all qualities of a Brahmin. Okay, we have 10 minutes more. Okay. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says here, the 12 qualities of a Brahmin: truthfulness, control of the senses, austerity, freedom from envy, modesty, tolerance, sacrifice, charity, tolerance, study of the Vedas, accepting vows, these qualities naturally in a devotee. So he continues, there are two types of souls in this world: those whose consciousness has awoken, udit vivek, and those whose consciousness has not awoken, anudit vivek. Okay? So, the Brahmanas are considered to be of the second type, not awakened consciousness. So those jivas who have awakened consciousness, they practice nitya-dharma. Therefore, varnashram, astanga yoga, the philosophy of sankhya, the philosophy of gyan, the performance of austerities, the giving of charity, this is all Naimittika dharma. Why? Not in direct relationship to Bhagavan. So it cannot be called nitya. So, generally those who follow all this karma kand, their discrimination has not awakened. So those whose intelligence has awoken, another name for them is Vaishnav. Okay? So, let me just go here. Those whose consciousness has not awoken, they are obligated to follow varnashram and all type of karma kand. But those whose consciousness had awoken, they are now eligible for a different type of life. They will follow a different type of scripture. No? Therefore, Bhagavatam says, on this path of devotion, there is no fear. Close your eyes and run. There is no fear of falling. Means devotee in the path of someone in the path of devotion may neglect some of these other things given in the karma kand, but for him there is no question of falling. Okay. Those who are unawake are obligated to follow the karma kand section of the Vedas, but those who are awake are not obligated to follow the karma kand section of the Vedas. They will follow, they have a different eligibility. So, okay. Okay. The conclusion is nitya-dharma, Naimittika dharma is to be rejected because the result is useless and temporary. Another point is Astanga Yoga, following Varnashram. Even in Karma Kand they follow Chaturmas, all these things. But the result, for example, if you read Chaturmas, if you don't drink honey for 4 months, then you can sing like an angel. If you maintain celibacy for 4 months, then in your next life you get a wife who is beautiful as Uma, the Prakriti, the wife of Shiva. If you don't sleep on a bed, the next life you get a bed in the heavenly planets. It's all these things which describe. So the problem with following this Naimittika dharma, it gives so many results which bewilder people. No? Like the heavenly planets or mystic cities. So by following Naimittika dharma, the jiva becomes more and more entangled. When he gets the result, then he suffers more. For example, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives some examples. A Brahmin, the Brahmanas also worship Vishnu. No? In the Karma Kand, worship of Vishnu is also given there. The problem is their worship of Vishnu is also considered Naimittika dharma because they want some temporary result. They cannot understand that worship of Vishnu is eternal. They think it's temporary. Therefore, such persons worship 5 Ishtadevas: Ganesh, the sun god, Narayan, Shiva, and Vishnu. You choose any 5 because God is formless, and you choose any 5 and worship. So even their worship of Vishnu is still considered Naimittika karma, Naimittika dharma. Like the Brahmanas chant the Gayatri, the Vaisnavas also chant the Gayatri, but so much difference is there in understanding. So, for example, the Brahmanas follow Varnashram. What do they become? Proud? No? They think everyone is inferior to them. That's an inauspicious result. Another example is practicing the Astanga Yoga, the 8-fold yoga system. You get some mystic powers. No, you become bewildered. Therefore, material enjoyment, bhukti and mukti are unavoidable results of Naimittika dharma. And bhukti and mukti give all type of ignorance and suffering. Therefore, Naimittika dharma is asthayi, impermanent. It does not apply at all time, all place, all circumstances. Okay. The jiva's true swadharma is nitya-dharma. Okay, I want to read this paragraph. I marked it. One may ask, what is Vaisnava-Dharma? The answer is Vaisnava-Dharma is the jiva's nitya-dharma, eternal religion. When the Vaishnava, the jiva, is free from matter, he nurtures krsna-prema in his pure spiritual form. Before that stage, when the Vaishnava is still materially bound, although spiritually awakened, he only accepts objects and association which is favorable for devotion, that is vaidhi marga. A Vaishnava is only true friend. The Vaishnava is the world's only true friend. And he renders auspiciousness for all jivas in the world. I have humbly submitted what I said today in the assembly of the Vaisnavas. Please excuse my faults. Who is speaking all this? Vaisnava-das, before he was sannyasi Thakur. So very quickly all these things manifest to him. All Vaishnavas clapped. Bravo, bravo. So, this Kalidas who asked the question, he had many doubts, no, but he had faith in what was said. So he said, I'm not a Vaishnav, but I want to become a Vaishnav. If you give instruction, then my doubts will be dispelled. So he's developing these qualities of disciple. No? So Prem Das Babaji, who is the leader, the guru of everyone, no? Paramahamsa Das Babaji Maharaj, his guru was Prajumna, Brahmachari, and now his disciple is now Vaishnav Das. So Prem Das said, oh yes, very good, time to time, you come and if you have any questions, you can ask Vaishnav Das. So I said, that is your guru, amazing. So, previously he lived in Varanasi, he was Brahman before and sannyas and everything. Because Kalidas also Brahman, then maybe a little proper, his guru also should be Brahman like that. In the beginning, many people have these doubts. So, they asked, what's his name? He said, my name is Kalidas Lahiri. So when Paramahamsa Babaji said that, then he accepted Vaishnav Das. He accepted Vaishnav Das as his guru. He thought, yes, he accepted sannyas. He is also Brahman. He has extraordinary scholarship. He knows all the Vaishnav truths. I can learn so much from Vaisnava-Dharma from him. So, before Lahari Mahasaya was living in Shantipur, but now he got one bhajan kutia in Godrum. So he was sharing, this ashram was owned by one Madhav Das. Madhav Das was very poor, so he was renting one room to Kalidas. So nighttime, Kalidas was thinking of everything he heard in the katha. He was thinking, he heard some noise, he came out. He saw Madhav Das Babaji talking with one woman. When the woman saw him, she ran away, and Madhav Das became ashamed. Kalidas asked, what's going on, Babaji Maharaj? He said, I'm very bad luck. Madhav Das said, this woman you saw, she is my wife. No. I took sannyas and left and came here. And I didn't know, but somehow she came. She was living at Shantipur. Then one day I went there for Madhukari, I saw her. No. So she followed me here. Now she comes every night. No. So now my life is useless. The Vaishnavas, they do not say anything, but definitely they have lost faith in me. I'm now like Chota Haridas. No. So he lamented, and Babaji Maharaj and Kalidas thought, he said, oh Madhav Maharaj, Madhav Das Babaji, sorry, be careful. Then Madhav Das Babaji Maharaj went away. Then Kalidas said, it's not good association, I'm staying here. No, just like we can see in Krishna Balaram, If some person come from some bad association, we cannot believe that person very quickly, no? Because so many years they have bad association that cannot trust. So Kalidas thought, if I'm living in this ashram, then the Vaishnavas will not believe me. If they do not believe me, they will not give me nice instructions. So he gave up that ashram and went to Paramahamsa Das Babaji Maharaj. Please, I want some place here. Then, right? So he went to his guru, Vaishnav Das. I want some place here. Vaishnav Das checked with his guru, Paramahamsa Das. Then Paramahamsa Das Babaji Maharaj gave him one place there. No. And also he arranged prasad. Every day he would take prasad in the house of one Brahmin. This is end of 3rd chapter. Naimittika dharma should be relinquished. So, I know people become tired hearing all this, but this is like our foundation. So we should know. I request everyone again, after this class, everyone again, read 3rd chapter. And the day after tomorrow, we speak chapter 4. Vaisnava-dharma is nitya-dharma. So this class only took an hour, so we don't want it to go more than that. So today, everyone read 3rd chapter again. Understand the 3 types of scriptures, the eligibility for both, how these 3 are in one line. Different people have different eligibility. Scripture give different instruction for them. But the goal is the same, nitya-dharma. No? If one reaches a higher eligibility, he is qualified automatically to give up what he may practice previously. Last thing I may say, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if one wants to advance in eligibility, it is necessary for him to give up what he previously practiced. For example, if I want to walk up the stairs, first I have to give up my previous stair. No, he said, first I should be established in my new stair, then I have to give up what I previously practiced and then move my foot to the next step. So, unless we abandon what we previously practiced, and then how you can advance to the next level of eligibility. Therefore, in conclusion, Naimittika dharma, proper and appropriate for those of that eligibility, but when he comes to bhakti, adhikar, then he becomes qualified to give up that. Therefore, Krishna Bhagavad Gita gives a benediction, sarva dharma prityaja mamekam saranam braja ham tam sabha papyabhyo mokshisami masucha. O Arjuna, give up all varieties of dharma and just surrender to me. If you are fearful there may be some fault, then Krishna says, Masucha, I am responsible for that. So Srila Gauravamata said, people do not understand what benediction Krishna gave in that verse of Bhagavad Gita. Give up all Naimittika dharma, just come to me. And one may be afraid how I can give it up. I have so many debts to my parents, to my wife, to my children, to society, to the cows, to the fruit trees, to the Mother Earth, to my forefathers, to the rishis. But Bhagavatam says, don't fear. By surrender to Mukunda, one becomes free from all these debts. So the day after tomorrow, chapter 4, Vaisnava-dharma is nitya-dharma. Go Premanande, Hare Krishna. Someone appreciates the new haircut. Okay. Any questions you have?